this to us, you can molest us, you can take us on all these trips, and now we come out and say, well, feel sorry for me, we want rights, but we're going to take the money, and I personally felt that they shouldn't have taken the money, they shouldn't have did a settlement out of court, because it just, to me, it's just like, well, we're still fighting for something that we're not quite there yet.
One more question before we go to the commercial break. How do you all feel when you're sitting in church and the pastor is saying that homosexuality is an abomination, that you're going to hell? Now, mind you, this is the church that you are a member of. This is the church that you regularly attend. Roxanne, I noticed you saying you don't hear that.
Not in my church.
Have any of you all ever heard it from your pastor?
Maybe like 3 weeks ago.
And you're okay. Tavares, how did you feel? And how did you, when you were sitting there?
It's kind of hard because it's hard when you have such love for your pastor. It's been so many positive things that he's done for me. He's really got me out of some hard places and really been there. So it's kind of like I have that loyalty to him because he's been so good to me. But it's like he preached on, and wow, I don't care who feelings I hurt. I'm gonna stay true. If you don't like it, the word is written in stone. It's there. I can't change it. And it's hard to sit back and hear that you're an abomination and that God, in a sense, look down upon you, and then your pastor say, if you don't like it, then pretty much there's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to preach this word to someone who may need to hear it. And then it comes after that, God can change you. And I'm like, well, if God can change me, that means that I'm flawed. That means that I have something that's about me that God doesn't like. And for me to, in my mind, to hear that there's something in me that God doesn't like, and my connection and I feel that I have with God, to hear that is hard.
Sterling, can it be changed? Can God do what Tavares' pastor says can be done?
That's the thing. I totally believe with all my heart that God is capable of anything and everything. And if you pray to God that you want your sexuality changed, and God does that for you, like I said, I can't take that away from you. But I think, and I hope I speak for most of the people in this room, I definitely speak for myself, that I don't want to change because I've come to acceptance in who I am.
That's right.
And
That's right.
We had an incident a few months back. I know my home pastor would never say anything condemning because he knows me and my partner and we're respected. But we had a guest speaker come in, did not know us, and said some very negative things about homosexuality from the pulpit. And the first thing I looked over at my pastors, and I seen their head down, and their demeanor completely changed. And as soon as that service was over, we were the first people that they came and addressed and said, that we don't feel that way, right? And they apologized. And I think that means something. But as a pastor, I mean, it's kind of crazy that you can stand up there in this day and age, and because the statistics, 10%, somebody in that congregation is affected by homosexuality or transgender community in some way or another.
And last thing, I want to be able to get this in regards to gay homosexuality in the church. Earlier this year, the Pope, our first Latin American Pope, our first Pope who was not from the continent of Europe, said that while he was on a plane on his papal plane during a press conference that was on his plane, he said that he had no right to judge gays. Now that is coming from the leader of one of the largest one of the largest religions in the world. The leader of the Catholic Church said that he has no right to judge gays. That was earlier this year when that took place. In one word, I'm gonna go around the room. How do you feel about those comments made by such a high-profile religious leader? In one word.
Mine would have to be astounded, like in a good way, though. I'm really, really pleased that something like that has come pretty far. It's cool.
I could say speechless because
it's kind of crazy that someone of that high of a pedestal, but with this title being a function, said that. So it's like it's like kind of speeches like that. He really said that. It's like everything's like coming full circle. Like people are starting to realize what it is.
I'm gonna go with proud. I think that's just kind of one of those things that what we're fighting for is starting to be recognized. You know, as people always say, those parades, and we just feel like we're just going to parties. No, it's parades, those seminars, those people who stand out front in Washington. It's for a reason, and it's starting to be seen. So I'm just proud that our work is starting to be recognized.
Mine would actually be grateful, because all these high-powered people, celebrity, president, pope, all people listen to them. People see what they do, and they'll reenact it. They'll intimidate, like copy it. So they'll start to learn more about it.
I would have to say that I am in awe that we can do this. We've come a very long way in the past few years, and I am in very much in awe of what's happening.
Mine is not a word, but about time. I mean, literally, about time people stop judging people.
Mine is rejoiced, because now you can be happy and rejoice. A new beginning from somebody that's at a high stature in life and that we look up to has, accepted us, So mine's rejoice.
I would say blessed to have somebody with his platform say the things he did. I definitely think he's going to be moving in a more progressive direction than popes in the past.
Well, I thank you all for those comments. When we coming up after the break, it is 22 minutes past the hour here on 91.9 FM, WLJS Jacksonville. I want to have the chance to discuss with you all some of the celebrities that have come out this year. Many celebrities have come out in the year 2013, and some have been quite shocking and quite surprising. I also want to have the chance to discuss gay hate crimes, and in which situations of which some lives have actually been lost from the LGBT community in regards to hate crimes. I want to have a chance to discuss that. We'll be right back with our panel of people: Justine, Billups, Courtney Johnson, Tavares, Doizer, Russell Henson, Sam Bullard, Jayr Morris, Roxanne, Demornay, and Sterling Fiering. We'll be right back. This is Outfront, stories from the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community, and we'll be right back. 25 minutes past the hour here on 91.9 FM WLJS Jacksonville. Right before we went to the break, I told my panel of guests that I wanted to have the opportunity to discuss with them some of the celebrities that have come out of the closet, that have come out as gay or bisexual just in the year 2013 alone. Just to name a couple, one of the most known ones is 34-year-old Jason Collins. He was the center for the Washington Wizards, and he came out on April the 29th. And he was the first active athlete in a major American sport to come out of the closet publicly. Now, as of last week, Jason Collins has still not found a job within the NBA, just weeks before training camp is supposed to go underway. Why do you think that is?
I feel some type of way about him. And you know, I'm all for everyone coming out, but I just feel like you've been in the NBA this long. You're a free agent. You knew that your time pretty much is up. I mean, it's like a win and a lose. I'm sorry. I think there's plenty more people who do way more than he does every day. So the fact that he's getting a New York Times and Sports Illustrated covers is, I'm sorry, I'm not on Team Jason.
Do you feel that had it maybe been someone of a higher status like Kobe, Shaquille O'Neal, or even someone who is not active in the NBA, such as a Michael Jordan? Yeah,
I just feel, it's. You've been in an NBA this long, and pretty much you know that your career is pretty much over. When you announce that you're coming out, you are a free agent. Which pretty much it was likelihood that what you're going through now was not going to happen. And I feel that you used it as a way of saying that, well, someone will pick me up, then they're discriminating against me, and maybe someone will pick me up not to look like I'm homophobic. So for me, I personally felt that his whole coming out was a little too late. Sorry, you could have kept him.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think it's. I kind of agree with what he said, but I think it's really messed up that someone who's been in that sport for so long and who's so good at it, because he came out, everyone is just like, oh God, no, we don't want him out here on this court. He might, I don't know, touch somebody on the butt. Can't have that.
Do you think that it may have something to do with his age? He is 34 years old.
I think his time was expiring, and I think he knew that. So he knew that, well, I'm a free agent. Let me just go ahead and say I'm out the closet and all the other stuff. I think it was trying for him to maybe get on another team. I think he did it wrong. I think he should have just did it. Maybe if he knew he was gonna be done, just be done, be a free agent. But he should have went about it a different way. I think he just did it to make it seem so he can get it on the team, because he knew he probably wasn't gonna be with that team again.
I didn't even know who he was.
I didn't know who he was either.
A couple of people who have come out as gay or bisexual this year alone. You may all not know her by her real name, but you may know her by her character name. 38-year-old Sarah Gilbert. She is the co-host on CBS's The Talk, and you may know her as the moody teenager Darlene Carner on the famous sitcom Roxanne. It ran from 1988 to 1997. Now, just 3 weeks ago, she revealed that she knew that she was gay because during the scenes where she had to make out with her co-star Johnny Gelke, who played David, her gullible, immature boyfriend, she said that she knew that she was gay because when she would make out with him on set, that she wouldn't feel anything. And then also another very famous actress, Raven-Symoné. She played the She played the 3-year-old Olivia on the Cosby Show. She was also in Dr. Dolittle movies and the most famous show on Disney Channel, That's So Raven. Now, on August the 2nd, she revealed that she was gay and that she, quote, finally can get married. Now, you know that Raven-Symoné has never talked publicly about her relationships. And when these same rumors revolving her sexuality came up in May 2012, do you all remember that? She tweeted this. She says, quote, "My sexual orientation is mine and the person I'm dating's to know. I'm not the one for public display of my life," unquote. How do you think that Raven went from in May 2012 to not revealing her sexuality and to not confirming the rumors to now, a year later, being able to say, yes, I am?
Well, it's actually kind of when Doma was the reason behind her finally making the tweet, was it's such a flow of emotion about it you kind of forget other things. You just want to tell people that you're proud, you're happy of who you are, and that you're excited for it. I think that just took over, and she kind of just let it flow.
And be loud and proud.
I don't know about anybody else, but by you reading that tweet, if you can read in between the lines, she actually really just told you she